let's look at our next problem. Let's say I don't need to know the exact product, but I just need an estimate. How could I round these two factors to get me more friendly numbers? Well, I could start by rounding to the nearest 10. And just as a review, for 456, I would box everything in, including my tens, and I would underline what's to the right. That's a 6. My 6 would tell me to do what? Raise the score. So this would become 460 because I'm going up by 110. So now I have 46 tens or 460. Let's do the same thing for my 42. Well, for 42, I only have one thing that I'm going to box in, which is 4 or 4 tens. And I'm going to look at my ones column, and that's going to tell me to let it rest. So I would just have 40. Now, for me, that's still a hard problem to do. 460 times 40, I can't work that out in my head. So is there a different way that I could round 460 to make it easier? Yeah, we could round to the nearest 100. So instead of 456 rounding to the nearest 10, I could round 456 to the nearest 100. So 456. Now I'm going to round it to the nearest 100, so that means I'm going to box in just my hundreds place and look at my tens. The 5 tells me to go up. So now, rounded to the nearest 100, I could have 500 times 40. I'm going to leave my 40 because it's already a pretty friendly number. It's an easy number to multiply by. Now, that does sound pretty easy to me. So now I can do 500 times 40. So one strategy would be to look, since these numbers have zeros on the end of them, let's multiply our leading digits first. So 5 times 4, that would give me 20. And then I have 1, 2, 3 zeros. So that would give me 20,000. Now some of you might think of this as 500s times 4 tens, which 5 times 4 would give you 20. And if I multiplied hundreds times tens, that'd give me thousands. So 20,000 would just be 20,000. So just as a review, today we're working on multiplying multi-digit whole numbers, but we're estimating. So today we're going to round these factors before we multiply. So you can round them different ways. One person might think that this number and this number, some people might be able to do that in their head. But I wanted to make them even more friendly, even easier, so I rounded to 500 times 40. And that's going to give me a pretty close estimate. So if I don't need to know the exact number, I can use rounding the factors in order to find a pretty close estimate.